Hi guys, we're gonna do a Q&A today. We're gonna talk a little bit about the trainer, but my biggest thing that I wanna talk today about is voice rest. If you hear me clearing my throat, I went to Nashville, oh boy, probably 2.5, 3 weeks ago and got some really bad cold flu, and it's still hanging onto my chest. And so if that happens to you guys, there is something really crazy going around right now. Lots of water, lots of vitamin C. I do B12 and C injections. I do them myself at my home, but I know a lot of people go and get them done. You can do IV drips, like little Myers cocktail drips. Those are helpful. Very important to know. I've had a lot of students come down with this recently, and it's hanging on for weeks and weeks, sometimes months. I had a student call me yesterday from Nashville, and he was concerned because he'd had it for almost 8 weeks. And one of the things to mention that I'd forgotten as well is when you're clearing your throat, like you hear me doing, that constantly coughing, what it does is your lungs get inflamed. And the more inflammation you have in your lungs, the more mucus they produce, and then you keep coughing and you keep chasing yourself and going around in circles. And so sometimes it can take you weeks to get better. So cough suppressants, if you don't like medicine, you've got to take some kind of cough suppressant. Local store should have them. If you need something stronger, you need to call your doctor. Also, cough drops, things like that. I got a steroid inhaler over the counter. I've been using that. It's really helping. And then I'm just boiling water, good old fashioned pot on stove, boiling water and inhaling all of that to just get the mucus to lighten up. Mucinex in the blue box is great. The green box, I wouldn't suggest that. I think it's got pseudoephedrine in it, and it's a drug. So just the one in the blue box. So those are my little healthy tips for the day. If you guys are experiencing cold and flu season now that it is February. Vocal rest is really important. We want to talk a little bit about vocal rest today because I have a lot of clients. I don't just train singers. I also have comedians and journalists and life coaches and people, influencers, people that talk and do life coaching, and they're constantly talking. The problem that I'm having right now is, life is so busy right now. Everybody's doing their own thing. Everybody's promoting themselves. We're our own managers. And so I have a client she's got a show that she hosts 3 nights a week. It's pretty intense. The hours are crazy. It's like 6 hours of talking, and then maybe flying somewhere. And then she's got 3 of her own shows on the weekend. And then in between that, she's talking on meetings, all of that. You need to be really careful when you do that because there's no balance. There's no vocal currency. What that does is it becomes diminished returns, where you're so unhappy all the time because your voice is hurting you, because you're talking too much. So if you're someone that uses your voice for a living, like an athlete uses their body, you have to think their muscles in the neck. You have to stop talking because they keep slamming together and vibrating, and it's like taking a baseball bat to them, especially if you're in your car. If you're on the phones, phone meetings in your car, those are the worst. I teach on FaceTime mostly all day. I have tours going on all over the world. So I'm maybe talking a little bit louder, even though I'm in my office. And it's very taxing on the voice. And so if you guys aren't doing vocal rest, let me know. I want to hear from you. If you've done a voice rest, what you know about vocal rest, and if you're doing it, as I'm still clearing that. But it's crucial. It's crucial just for anybody that uses their voice for a living. And nowadays, we all are using our voices more than anything, because we're constantly on the phone and taking meetings and things like that. So I want to open it up to you guys to ask me any questions. If you have your vocal trainer, you want to get that out. If you haven't gotten it, it's bettervoice.store. Mine has my name on the back of it. It's kind of hard to see, but there we go. It's a cool little device, and I use it for all my singers. We want to talk about how to warm up when you are sick during cold and flu season, and how to get back into that safely. So again, you guys have any questions for me, please don't be shy. I love answering your questions and talking a little bit more about the trainer. What I like to do is kind of put it on notch 2. So you see that little opening there? I'm going to open it up again all the way for those of you. See the hole there? That little hole. And then I'm going to close it, right? That's shut. You can't do it shut. You want to have it open so that you have a little bit of air moving through that. And then you can hum into it. You can, again, it becomes an exercise in humming, not blowing. I said this last time I was on, you don't want to go with your cheeks popping out. That's not the way to use the trainer. So you have to be humming into it. And you can hum your songs. You can hum the choruses of your songs. So if you guys have a song that you like, that you want to ask me about, or you're struggling somehow with one of those songs, I'm going to pull this up in case I pull a song up. Let me know now. Tell me about it. You guys there's a lot of you in here today. I don't have any questions yet. So ask me. All right, yeah, we have one. Okay, here we go. Dr. Hector De La Tour. Okay, got it. Hold on, Mexico City. And I'm so excited because I use the vocal trainer for therapy, and not even all my patients are singers. It's awesome how the vocal trainer is so dynamic. I love that. It's very dynamic. Yes, we do use water and straw where we blow bubbles into the water. We've been doing that for decades and decades. I've been teaching now for 28 years. I've been in the music business for 35. Hard to imagine, but it's true. But this is one of the coolest things I've ever used because there's nothing else on the market like it. You can take it anywhere you go. You can wash it in boiling water and it retains its shape. It's easy to clean. It comes in a really nice, like covered like leather clothy pouch. You can stick it in your backpack. You can stick it in your purse. You can stick it on your keychain. I have a lot of people that keep it in their cars because they're going places and they use it in their car. They use it at a lesson or in the studio. So they keep it in their car, like where your glasses would be, in that center console. And you can use it for everybody. It's for singers, it's for speakers, it's for, like, as the doctor mentioned, it's for all types of singers and patients. And so we want to really maximize how we're using this. And you can just do scales. Like if you're a female, maybe we start down there, C, D, E, F, G above low C. And we're just doing an octave. It's still a little early for me. I haven't taught yet, so I'm going to open it up a little bit further. Maybe put it on notch 1 and 1.5. And I really feel that. And what does it do? It gets the cords to adduct or close, and then they start to phonate, but it doesn't involve the strap muscles and the muscles in the neck. And also it keeps that larynx nice and cradled so it doesn't hike up and choke you out. You can do a longer or arpeggio. You can go and then you can follow it up. No, 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 right? And you're not hearing any breaks. I'm not pulling chest voice and singing too high. I'm not flipping and going into my head voice, as it were. So this is me coughing my face off for literally 18 days. I'm on day 18 right now. I went back to the gym. I'm working out. I did a little Peloton class this morning, not very long. I'm using an inhaler. It just is what it is. It's really, these things, sometimes they grab you. Haven't really been this sick in about 6 years, but they're cyclical. And when they come up, we all really need a lot of help to get us on the other side. So one of the things that I'm using in the morning before I start training is this. And I'll do an extension, just I'll go half step higher. I'm pointing where it's going. It's going chest, mix, head. I'm bypassing my neck. I'm bypassing my throat and my neck, right? Vocal cords live there, but the resonance and the phonation should be here and here. So if I even want to go even higher, so we're on a C, right? So that's a middle C, that's a middle to high, and here's a high. So just that octave. Not too bad for someone that's been coughing for 18 days. Again, I'm trying to keep the coughing to a minimum. But if you're struggling like I am, just really keep that suppressed, right? You clear your throat. The trainer also, I'm finding singers that have been sick with me, as well, and they're coming down with colds and flus this time of year. We're using the trainer, and as we're warming up, their lungs are rattling around and they're coughing more and more mucus up, which is good. You just want to get it up and get it out, but don't over cough to the point where your lungs are inflamed. All right, guys, I need more questions from you, or I'm just going to sip and drink my coffee. So now is the time to ask me any questions about the trainer. If you have it, if you've purchased it, I want to give it a minute to get to you. It's not Amazon. It's just a very, very small company with just a handful of people. So it takes a minute to get them all put together and made and boxed and shipped out to you. So if you want to get one, give it some time. It can take a couple weeks. But just be patient. You'll get it in the mail, I promise. Other songs that we can take. I always like to do songs that have these really crazy octave jumps. You know, I don't love to start with Olivia Rodrigo myself in the morning because a lot of that is really difficult. Somebody wanted to do Vampire on the East Coast and it was still early to me and they wanted to cover it. Boy, you really have to warm up for some of those songs because they're very, very high, and anything over a C, C sharp, D, E flat starts getting up into the stratosphere. So if there's any songs that you are curious about, please let me know. Please give me your suggestions. You guys are very quiet today. I usually have so many questions I can't get to them. So ask me anything. If you don't have it, bettervoice.store is where you want to get it. Excuse me. I also talk about it in my book, A Better Voice. If you don't have this, it's on Amazon. This will come to you very quickly. And it is stories from the music industry. It's not just about anatomy. It's about stories from your favorite artist and what they did wrong and how we got them back on stage. Those of you that are Sam Smith fans, Sam wrote my foreword. There's all kinds of cool stuff in there. It's an easy, fast read. You'll learn everything you ever wanted to know about your own voice in that book. So pick it up, A Better Voice on Amazon. Chi-Chi has a question. Hi Val, how long does it take for a typical warm-up take? So everybody is a little bit different, right? So it depends on who you are, what your age is, what you're struggling with or what you're not struggling with. It depends on, you know, what type of shape is your voice in. If I have singers on tour and I think that a half an hour warm-up is going to be diminished returns for them because they're already tired or sick or coming down with something and they have a show, I'm going to do a shorter warm-up. If you're healthy and if you're feeling good, you know, and you're sort of like an intermediate singer, I would say do very specific warm-ups for you. You can also find me at ValerieMorehouse.com. I have associate teachers that work with me. We do FaceTimes all over the world. We can give you a diagnostic and tell you what you need and what's lacking. But typically you want a pointed exercises that are for you, right? Not for someone else that you got online. Oftentimes you'll download those and the problem is you'll have 3 ones that are okay, 1 or 2 that are benign, and the rest of them are going with your problem instead of against it. So we don't want to do that. So it's anywhere from 10 minutes warming up to 10 or 15 minutes warming up to 30 minutes of singing. And if you're a more advanced singer, you're getting ready for tours. Some of my clients are doing about an hour a day. Unless they're in rehearsals, they're doing much more. Excuse me. So this will help. This will help a lot. And it will help you start your warm-ups too. So you can do extensions too. If you come down, you can do... I'm going to open mine up a little bit further. You can see where I switched. I went into there. My cords are tired because I've been teaching. So I'm teaching all day, and then around 2, 3 o'clock, I knock off and I'm on vocal rest. I rest from 3 till the next day. My kids know not to talk to me. They're 16, so it's not a big deal for them. But if you have little ones, you just have to have the buddy system when you're doing vocal rest so that people around you all day understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Again, we talked about that at the top. Vocal rest is imperative. So if you guys have a song, are there any songs you guys are singing right now? Give me some more questions. I would love some more questions. We have a lot of you in today, which is awesome. But, you know, I feed off of your information and what you are doing and what's not working. Again, if you don't have yours, bettervoice.store, that's where you can purchase it. You can watch me doing videos and some just quick tutorials and things on bettervoice.co. So that always works. Any song suggestions? Hit me with your questions. You guys have me for a few more minutes. So now is the time to ask. Also, where you're all coming from. That would be great to know too. Do we have singers? Do we have teachers? Do we have doctors? Sometimes we have a lot of SLPs that join us, so speech therapists that join us on these. How is the best way to hit a high note in Somewhere Out There? Ooh, great song. So, somewhere, that's Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Somewhere Out There, I got to pull that up. So I want to make sure I'm in the right key. We got to do this fast now because we are now a little bit running out of time here. But, all right, if I go to my library and I'm going to do, let's pick the key. Somewhere Out There. Okay, so let's pull it out. We can do this one, this version. I think this is Linda Ronstadt. So if you guys hear this. So she's going really much into head voice there. Now you guys start asking me all these questions. Good Lord. Okay. So I'm going to open this up. You can use the trainer. So that's somewhere out there. And then we have Beneath the Pale Moonlight. That makes it easier for me. Now I'm placing it. Beneath the pale moonlight. I'm going into head voice. Mine's a little rough because I've been sick for like 18 days. But you can use that right out the gate. I'd love to do more of the song. Maybe remind me next time. But that's how I would use that. How do you teach pitch to young children? That's harder. Ear training is, you can use the trainer, you can use your exercises, you just keep going over the pitches and having them have the input to the output and matching pitches through their ear. Like, can they find an octave? Can they find a third? Can they find a fifth? All those things, and just see if you can jump around, or just a 5-tone ah, and have them ah. See how much they can match it, play it on the piano again, and just keep going back and forth with that. Watch your teenagers though, because especially your boys, they're going through vocal changes between as young as 13, as old as 16, 17. So those you have to be really careful with. My days from the notebook, that F sharp, I'm still trying to find the right placement. I can hit it on its own. Okay, I've got to look at the name, but I'm probably talking to a guy, because the F sharp is a man's bridge, and that's why I know I'm talking to a guy. So here's your F sharp. That's a man's first bridge, the hardest note to get through. You can go up. So this would be the F sharp. So you start here. No, 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 no. Mine's a little thin up there because my cords are still a bit swollen from coughing. But use the trainer to do that. Also, you can plug your nose, guys, men. FF sharp, hard notes. Plug your nose and do it on an O. When you plug your nose like the trainer, it shuts down all the neck muscles. They can't move. The only thing that can move are the vocal cords, and that's exactly what we're trying to attain, and that's what the trainer does. Singer from the UK, yay! You guys go to my website, ValerieMorehouse.com as well, and hit me up with your questions. There's a contact page there if you want a half-an-hour lesson with either myself or Jess or Lily. They help me with all my clients and have their own clients. They're amazing. We can show you how to use the trainer, and we can give you a diagnostic. What else? Going down. What is the best advice you give Olivia Rodrigo to hit the high notes? That's a long answer for that. I mean, it's just training. There's a lot of things that we do. I don't have enough time now, unfortunately, to answer that in full, but we use the trainer. We use with the nose plug. We're trying to get all the neck muscles to relax and have only the vocal cords move. That's the intention. So there's a lot of things that we do. We modify vowels where we're going, ah, you don't go ah, you go ah, oh, ah, oh. So we'll open it again. It's all modified. So if you bring the vowels in, the larynx goes down, you have all this room to sing. So I don't want to see singers doing that, or people with their jaws wired shut. Not good. Excuse me. I'll be in touch with you and team. Cool, Gigi. I love that. Advice to hit the high notes. You guys always want to know about the high notes. Grab your trainers. Get one of these. If you have a really high song like Somewhere Out There, you do the same thing. That feels more connected now. For me anyway, because I'm using the trainer and talking. Beneath the pale moonlight. And then I can come back down to my chest voice. So you play with it. Sometimes you have songs where you go into head voice and that's fine, but you want to be able to always do it in a mix. And your mix is the most important part of your voice. It's the strongest part. It's the hardest to train. The trainer helps you do that. Jonathan from Georgia. Hi, Jonathan. I sing at church every week. How do I discover what exercises work best for you? You need a teacher that understands anatomics. I mean, it's just like being an athlete, wanting to play soccer or football or basketball, and you're only as good as you're only as good as you are on your own. But you eventually need a teacher, a coach that really understands what's going on with your anatomy and how to help you work around that. So if you ever wanted to lesson with one of us, you can get to ValerieMorehouse.com and we'll help you out with a diagnostic. How is Olivia able to run around the stage so easily and express herself and sing so easily? Well, she's an athlete. She's been an artist her whole life. She's been singing her whole life, but we really were able to get her mix put together. She's a very strong singer. And a lot of that is just getting on a ball, practicing, moving around during rehearsals, strength training. We work out. A lot of my clients work out. We lift weights. We do cardio. And then you put those two together on stage and it works well. And then you build up your stamina as you go. Vampire, you're going to have to hit me up another day, you guys, on that one. That's going to take, that'll take at least 5 minutes to go through that. So if you remember and you follow us, on official Val Morehouse and bettervoice.co. We'll tell you when we're doing another one, and when I'm fully healed, I'll show you that, because that is very, very high. And you really want to warm up correctly for that. So when we have more time, I'll definitely go through that as well. So just understand with all of this stuff, guys, it's not as easy as you think it is, but when you have a really good teacher or a technician, it does become very easy, and we can start fixing things at warp speed and help you not make the mistakes that you would make on your own. And it just saves you a lot of heartache, because you want to make sure you're training properly and training with somebody that understands your anatomy personally, because every single person is different. I don't sell warm-ups. I never have. They don't work. It's like writing a prescription for a patient you've never seen. Everybody is individual based on their sex, their age, where they are in their singing journey, what's going on with their voice. Are they pulling too much weight? Do they have too much air in the voice? So there's a multitude of things that can be going on at once. And if you don't have somebody that understands how to break that down properly, it can be very dangerous. And you can also have teachers that actually make you worse instead of better. It's why I wrote this, that question right there. This is why I wrote this. If you want to jumpstart, you can get a Better Voice on Amazon by me. It's got so much information in there, and I promise it's not boring. It's really fun. And you can get your trainer at bettervoice.store. We'll do another one of these. I'm so glad you guys were able to join me even just for a little bit today. Come next time with all your questions, and the vampire one will go over when I see you next. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.